Hi, I'm welcome to RCKicks. On today's show, well, we're going to carry on with the Fat Fox Tamiya racing truck that's on the TT01 chassis. Now, if you haven't seen the chassis build video, I'll put a link up here. Also, I've had one of these before that I purchased that was complete. If you haven't seen that, I'll also put a video up to that unboxing. That's now sold that on, but that's why I decided to get myself one so that I could go through the process of building one, because I wanted to paint one up. Now, I said I wanted to paint one up until I realised that these are the decals. Yes, but then you go, oh, that's not so bad. Yeah, you don't realise that there's actually another sheet. And then there's another sheet underneath that. So that is all the decals for this truck. Yeah. So that's fun. Something to look forward to. But I've managed to cut everything out so far, and I've lined up everything. It's all sitting on the truck as it should be. The cab, I've put the window masks in, and that's now sitting quite nicely. When you're cutting this out, make sure that the back plate, the cut marks along the lines there, and on the other side, they're visible. The ones on the actual cab are not. This sits over the top like so. Oh, there we go. So these lines are visible, so you've got to be a bit careful with those. Apart from that, not too difficult. I scored out the bottom body with a sharp knife, and that wasn't a problem. The cab is much thicker plastic, so I struggled, so I had to resort to using scissors, but that was fine. Right, what have I got to do? So that's got to be painted in fluorescence yellow. These are black. They're the rear mud flaps that kind of sit underneath there, and then you stick them, they kind of attach like that and finish the arch. That gets mounted later. They're black. Next thing I need to do is mask off the cab, because the top section is going to be blue. This section is going to be black here, so I've got to mask that off. And then I've got to mask the body off so that this center section is all black. So, a lot of masking. Also, I'm waiting on my dark blue. I'm hoping it was going to be here today, but I think it's going to be tomorrow. But I'll carry on painting all the other bits and pieces, because it's going to take so long to mask it up that I think I'm going to run over an extra day anyway, because cutting all this stuff out already is taking me quite a while. Anyway, right, let's crack on and mask up, and I'll be right back. Well, I've made a bit of progress. I masked off the body so that I could paint the black section. The silver bits that I actually did, I painted them in by hand, and then I blew it in black. Now, I've made a bit of a mistake that I've only just realised. Now, originally I was going to paint it in PS5 black, which is what this is supposed to be in. Now, I didn't have a full can available, but I had a metallic black. So I thought, oh, I'll just paint it metallic black, which is what I've done. Now, I've only just realised it's TS40. Now, if you don't know, this is for hard bodies, not for polycarbonate bodies, which is usually a disaster, because when it flexes, it just peels off. Now, the only saving grace that I have is that the PS Black is the center section. And this is very sturdy. It doesn't flex, this part of the body. It's not like this section here or in the edges and things like that. And the front. Stupidly, now I have actually done these rear fenders in the same thing, but then I backed them in black, which is the PS5. Now, these seem to be reasonably flexible, and I don't seem to have any problems with it blowing the paint. Now, I did scour the inside of the body to give it a key. So stupidly, that was a real dumb mistake, but I may have got away with it. But I plan on driving this quite a lot, so I'll have to see how it goes. Damn it, that was such a stupid mistake. I'm tempted later on though, what I might do is, normally what I do is after I've done the white, I back the whole car in white, then I back it in black. Now there is a bit of PS5 left, so whether I will back it all in black after that, well then the white will kind of do it. I'm thinking, because it seems to have worked really well here, backing the TS with PS. So I'm wondering whether when you spray the PS over the TS it helps it a little bit, but I think it's more to do with the adhesion properties of the paint to the body where it blows. But being that I did scour the body, maybe I can get away with it. Luckily it's in the middle. Now if it was here and here, that would be a problem, and it would be around here. Well, we'll just have to carry on. We make mistakes. Oh, I can't believe it. I just noticed on the top of it, I was like, why does it say TS? Oh. But hey, there we go. We all make mistakes, but we'll carry on. But it looks fantastic at the moment, and I didn't know that, so I've been messing around with the body. Also, I've painted the front in red, and I masked up all the front of the body, and I put masking tape over the black, and it didn't seem to pull it off. And that was before I realised. So I think I might be lucky enough to get away with it, being that it's the centre. Anyway, what's next? Well, I've masked up this. That's the cab. It's waiting for the blue. Also, the back section of the cab, I've painted in black, and I did these bits in silver. This is actually done in polycarbonate. That's just black. That's not the metallic TS. So not that I don't think that would, well, maybe it would flex a little bit more, but I think that's fine. That's going to be. The problem I've got now is that I placed an order for the dark blue. Now I did have another blue that I was tempted to go with, but after a bit more research, a lot of the decals have the dark blue in them. And the idea is that you paint certain sections and the stickers do other areas, but they all should look roughly the same. If you use the wrong colour blue, it stands out because you go dark blue to a different colour blue. So I ordered the correct paint. Now, I started this video 2 days ago, so to you, it just feels like it's just running on, but it's actually been 2 days. So I'm hoping that the can was going to arrive today, but it still hasn't turned up. But the problem is I can't paint the white until I have the blue. So I'm kind of running out of things to do. I could paint the spoiler, which I'll probably do, rub that down, and then I will probably spray that. But I can't really do much more. I could cut the decals out, I suppose. So what I'll do now is I will just have to cut until I have the blue paint and I spray up the body. So unfortunately this video is going to be pushed a little bit further down, but it's going to seem like an automatic instant thing for you. So fingers crossed I receive it later today or tomorrow. Anyway, fingers crossed, let's find out. A little bit of good news. After the section you've just watched, it's a few hours later, and luckily the blue turned up. So I've painted up the cab and the back of the body, as well as the back section. So all I'm left to do now is paint the white. I've gone back and I've cleaned up the body as much as I can, because when you're spraying the final white, any kind of overspray will stand out massively. Now you can go back and fix it, but it's a lot of effort. But it's coming out pretty good. So I've got to paint the sides, the front white, the bottom two sections white, and that little bit there. So not that much left to go, and then the painting is done. No main issues really, apart from my using the TS paint, but we'll gloss over that. I've got a little scratch here which looks like a little bit of white paint or silver paint's got over that. So when the blue is laid on, it's highlighted it, but I can go back and I can spray and touch it up, so it's not too much of a problem, or I'll just leave it because it looks like a little scratch on the paintwork. The sides came out really nice and sharp, but I don't know how much you actually see them. And that's the other thing, is it's difficult on a truck like this to really work out where you've got to spend ages getting your edges right and where you don't have to try so hard, because a lot of it's hidden. One of those lines was around the front here, where it actually asks you to do the black right to the edge, but then when you put the body over the top, it covers most of it, but then you'll see the black edge. Now I didn't want that, so it's better to leave it white and then just have this as your sharp edge, because trying to get a beautiful sharp black line on this curve from inside is really difficult, and I don't think you can do it. So it's just better to leave it white and then just have a sharp line with the blue. So that's what I did. I cut back the black. I didn't go right to the end. I just didn't think it would look that good. These ones, I think there's a massive white sticker that goes right across there, so I don't know how sharp, but they turned out brilliantly. I did them in one whole masking line, so that was pretty cool. Right, let's go back and put the white on. Wish me luck. Last painting. This has taken days so far. Well, after many hours of work, I finally got to this stage. Yeah, this one is a bit of a challenge. The blue turned up, which is fantastic. The blue's gone on really well. Then I have to do the white. Now the white, the thing that always worries me when you put white down last is if you have any blow through anywhere, when you back it in white, it shows up. Now it could be the tiniest little overspray and then it shows up massively. So I went over the car and I removed, I used my polycarbonate cleaner and I went back and I cleaned everything that was going to be white, but there's a few tiny little whispers of blue. Luckily most of them are going to be under decals. The bonnet came out perfect, because that's one place you can't really hide a lot. I've got a little tiny overspray mark here, but the sticker that goes over this will cover that, so that's okay. Putting the body together and sticking it all down, I had a few challenges. Getting everything to line up perfectly was actually quite difficult without this plate sticking up a little bit higher. It needed to be 1 mil less on the bottom to really sit down, but I managed to tip the cab up fractionally to line it up, so that's okay. Now these don't line up perfectly here, they're close, but then there's a sticker that goes around here, and that's my biggest challenge with this truck, is making sure where the lines that you see that don't get hidden by stickers are as crisp as possible, but then the ones that are hidden you don't have to worry too much. There is a little tiny amount of overspray at the bottom of each one because you have the lip, so the masking tape doesn't sit perfectly. I tried to clean it up as best I could. I'm not sure if there's any decals that cover that or not. That worried me a little bit. So yeah, not a body for the faint-hearted, because after all this you now have to do the decals, which apparently are a bit of a nightmare as well. So we'll keep going. And I'm never going to sell this truck. It's just, I put too much time and effort into it. But I'm happy with the paint job and it should look pretty epic. Right, let's cut some decals on and hopefully it'll all start to come together once the decals go on. It's taking hours. Finally, I finished the Fat Fox. finally, I am 3 days over my planned completion of this project, and I still haven't really finished. I'm 99% of the way there. There's a few things that I still need to do, but I'll do it off camera, purely because this project has run over so far. It's crashed into other stuff that's going on. So what's left to do? Well, the mirrors should be red, and the spoiler that's not part of this kit that I want to have on this car, I want to do it red, and then the uprights in silver. So I will go back and do that, but I just put some random Tamiya decals on it for now, and I'll get back to it in the next couple of weeks. It's just taken so long. Now, if you're thinking about getting one of these, just be wary. It's not like it's technically difficult to put the decals on. There's one or two little gotchas you've got to be careful of, but mainly it's just cutting out lots of individual decals. So it just takes hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. But what you are rewarded with at the end of all that work is something that is actually beautiful. It's an amazingly gorgeous looking truck. The blue that they recommend, the metallic blue, is brilliant, especially if you back it in white. It really pops and shines. It's a beautiful blue. I'm going to use it on some other cars. Now, there are some things that took me longer because that's just the way that I want to do them. Let me see if I can get the body off. Now, I actually ended up backing the whole car. So I back it in white, and then I actually backed it in gunmetal grey. And I really like that. So from now on, I'm going to back all my cars in white and then gunmetal grey. It just makes it look a little bit more professional looking. So really happy with that. But absolutely stunning. There's one or two decals that are not exactly as the box art did it, but 99% of them are. A few mistakes I made. You've got to put the wing mirrors in before you put the body on. I didn't do that, so I've had to glue them on instead of using the pin. Whoops, my bad, so be careful of that. The trickiest thing is making sure that all the cab all lines up. So I would recommend, if I was doing it again, I would spend a little bit more time fettling all the edges to make sure that they are perfect. So that would be another recommendation from that point of view. Right, let's take it for a blast. Now it's in its stock form. So it's not super fast, and I can recommend definitely upgrading it. I would wouldn't run the stock silver can. I would put in at least something like a sports tuned or something like that, and if you can get it onto lipo, that's where it needs to be. Lipo with a sports tuned is enough, or a motor roughly equivalent. You could probably squeeze a little bit more than that before the car will just start flipping over and things. I just found it bogs down and doesn't really drive how I like it, especially as I had another one that I bought that came with electronics, and I drove that and that felt much more alive. So that's what I'm going to do to this. I'm going to suit this up a little bit down the line. Depends on how popular this video is, whether I'll then start doing some upgrades. So put in the comments below if you'd like to see me putting different upgrades and things like that. Now I have seen you can get full chassis in carbon and everything. So if this video is popular, I may invest some money in doing some upgrades for this one. But so we'll see. Right, let's take it out for a quick blast. Unfortunately, it is raining today after suffering from 32 degrees in the studio, and then it was too hot. Then it started raining and we had a thunderstorm while I was painting it, so the rain was stopping me from painting. And now today I want to take it out for a drive and it's raining as well. So the weather has played a massive part on this build, again making it longer. Right, let's go take it out. It's just a quick running, no big fancy cinematic thing for you, just a quick run to see how it's going, because I'm just run out of time. Right, enjoy.
I've got some special memories. They're all including you and me. You make me forget that I'm shy. When I'm with you, I'm pretty wild. BFFs for life. Feel so good inside. I'm yours and you're mine. Always there, always with you, yeah. You light up my days, make tears go away. Sun shines on my face when you're here, when you're with me, yeah. You and me and you in a teenage dream, living free, coming through like it's
Well, I hope you enjoyed that quick blast. I will do a bigger running video, and I'll put some effort into doing proper music and things like that when I put a little faster, hotter motor in it. Anyway, thanks very much. Please like and subscribe, and if you'd like to support the channel, head over to the RCKicks Patreon page. I'll put a link below. And also, we're at 1900 people in the RCKicks Facebook page, so go check them out because we talk about everything. It's not just about Tamiyas, Schumachers, Lossy, all kinds of cars. Every manufacturer is welcome. Thanks very much. See you on the next one. Whew. That was hard going. Bye bye. Check out one of these videos for some more RC fun.